Okay, let's try this again, y'all. That one over there seemed that was either catfish or whatever, but I did get a good solid hit right away on the pink here. So let's try these fish and see if I get a better response here on these fish down here. I went to those deeper fish first. There's some up high at 8 again, but I'm going to these fish that are down here. Another fish followed that fish up. Their first fish is a hog, y'all, on that pink, and they're sitting right there at 8. So all I gotta do is try not to piss them off or spook them, and I bet get on a few of them. But he ate that pink up right away that I tied a bunch of. It's a real good solid first fish. So they're up high. They're way up. Fish are way up high at 8. Not a whole lot of jigging up and down. You got your ACC crappie stick? It didn't come yet? Dang. Pink. Hey guys, welcome to another quick shoot of Hooked Up Fishing. I am displaying these pink because I got some intel from Mike Webb when he last fished the lake that the fish were more responsive to a pink. So I just tied a bunch of different variations of the pink. To take out on the lake in the morning, and then I'm going to come back with some of my natural silvers with different color variations on those. But that's a pre-rig is what I call it, and that's how I rig my straight line drop from running a jig. And I chose this pink to take out tomorrow for myself to use, and I'll have all these others available. And I pre-rigged that one unit, but I grabbed the camera here for a more important matter. Show a little bit of how you want to be equipped. For me, if I'm using nothing but jigs, nothing but artificials, and I need to have everything readily available to me if I'm going to be doing anything as far as working with the bait. For me, this Chinook, which this is what they use on the barges, guys out on the ocean. This will save your life for real. Chinook. Okay. And what I'm getting at as far as, I'm crappie fishing, I'm using nothing but jigs. I need to be efficient when I'm out on the water, is how this vest is set up for me, the way I have it. These needle nose here will just get any jig from anywhere without damaging the jig. Even if I can't get past the feathers and just grab the shank of the hook where I'm not damaging feathers, I'll grab the head of the jig just lightly in between there and just push in the direction to dislodge it. And that fits right there on the vest. Quick, easy, I can get to it quick. You often see me moving my hands whenever I have the head cam. I'm going here. It has two very big zippers, and these zippers drop all the way down, and I'm able to put both of my cell phones in there at any time. I just, boom, that cell phone fits completely in there, zips up tight. And the other side, the same thing. If I'm carrying a phone that I'm trying to use for video, I'll have it over here. Another vest compartment where the phone fits right inside and then zips up. Of course, I'm out thumbs when I'm on the couch and I'm not, using the vest from on my body. But here, what I have is some of the greatest, coolest pliers you're ever gonna want to have with you. They got a deal where they latch close and they only spring open when you want, and that spring system on it is perfect. It's in and out of the way. They cut just about anything with the scissor part of it up here, braid or anything like that. But then you also have a real neat hook and split ring plier on the end of it where you can quickly change split rings or whatever if you want to do some split wing work. And they also, I use them to crimp the ball lead weight spit shot or whatever. I like the ones with the wings on them because I can clip them open and clip them closed with this also being on the front. I get in the front of that weight and push that point in there, and I can reopen that split shot and use it again and change it real quick. A lot of people don't like the split shot with the wings on it because they feel like during the fall it's going to affect how the jig is falling if you have that disturbance of those two wings sticking out with the, I'll show it to you on my pre-rig right quick where you'll know what I'm talking about. Because a lot of this terminology, a lot of guys are not going to be familiar with it anyway because they don't do that. But what I'm talking about is those split shots with the wing behind it versus just all rounded. And so I can go in the front of that if I want to and pop that open if I want to reuse it. That's the pre-rig that I have rigged for in the morning, and that's the pink that I'm gonna toss out there. But like I was demonstrating with these pliers right here, man, they just cut immediately right away. You're not fighting with any line. That's when I'm going to be changing that line out on that pre-rig. And the split shot in the swivel is still there. I use the smallest swivel possible. But it's rated for 7,500 pounds, but it's the smallest one they make. I think it's a 10. They're high dollar, but they're well worth it, and you don't lose many if you just rig right. All I use is that Suffix Advanced, that line that y'all seen rub in the mouth of a big 25, 30-pound catfish, with this line being 10 pound, rubbing back and forth throughout that whole fight, still landed the fish, and then fish with the line the rest of the day. Not hurt, not damaged. And that palate on that fish is very aggressive. It's hard. It'll skin your hand if you get it in there wrong. But yeah, so I'm going to do, another pre-rig another time. But like I said, those pliers are there. They fit right into there perfectly. Velcro shut. Then come right back here. Another small pair of scissors, and these are just some craft scissors that all I'm using is to clip the gills when I want to bleed crappie. And you could use them for anything else if you wanted to. They're also right over there on that side. They tuck in there out of the way. close in there, that pocket. Okay, and so there's also loop ring there if you wanted to D-ring something or have that hanging there. But to me, less is better. No obstructions. Everything here is tucked away. It's not in the way. It's not going to get hung on any line. If I'm fighting a fish, nothing's going to hit my hand or cut it or scrape it. That's just a simple vest, but very efficient with having everything that you need to get to. And there's other compartments like I didn't even go over if I wanted to, but I don't use those. Behind there, they got pockets where we can put other things. But I'm jig fishing. There's not a whole lot I need other than taking the hook out, re-rigging with another pre-rig. And I'll start having pre-rigs with me where I just go in a Ziploc bag, pull another complete rig out with the swivel, the weight, everything there. If I get broke off, boom, I'm right back fishing. But a lot of times, because I'm target fishing, I don't get hung up as much. I'll fish with the same jig on 3 or 4 trips as long as it's not too windy, and I don't have that affecting my presentation when I'm dropping the jig in on the fish. But yeah, plus, like I said, this life vest will save your life versus me depending on one that CO2 cartridge. Is it going to deploy in a tough situation, something happening, spur of the moment? Well, I don't have to wait on this one to deploy. It's already on. And I've used the ones with the CO2 cartridge, and I don't knock them at all. But for me, I'm on a kayak. Even though I'm on the safest, most stable kayak you could be on, a big old Hobie Pro Angler 14. That thing is 14 foot long, bigger than some people's John boat. I mean, it's a solid craft, but still, you know, this just allows me to do so much more from the front compartments, more like guys that fly fish. Guys that fly fish wear a lot of this stuff on them so they can quickly change due to a situation. So this allows me to do that, you know. Just wanted to run you out through that. I still got rods to sit up for in the morning, so none of those have jigs on them. I took everything off. I'm going to go back with pink on one, silver on one, and on the 10-footer, I don't know, I may put a creature bait on there just for fun. I may take a couple of my creature baits out, put one on there, and then I'm going to do some real serious bass fishing. I think tomorrow, guys, I'm going to really get out there and see if I can throw some top waters in the morning and get me a big bass blow up, you know, and then work my way back, you know, to crappie fish. But I had to put one of my bait casters in the shop, and I broke out this one that Big Larry gave me. It's got some big heavy line on it. It's good for throwing top water. It's a little heavy reel. That's what I hate about throwing it. It's a Shimano, and I think it's a Chronarch 100, 6-ball bearings, a Bantam, and it's an old school but a good solid one with some heavy 17-pound Suffix on it, and that's just your good Suffix, like monofilament, but it's a different breed of it. I got the spool of it too. I'll get the right name of it so I say the right thing next time while I'm just shooting this by hand. But yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit of black bass fishing and kind of be a little bit more serious about trying to get a big top water fish, maybe get a 10 out of there. I've heard of them having 13 pounders in there, so I'll get a little serious and see if I can catch some big fish. Hey guys, Jerry's already pulled up, hooked up fishing. Hard hitter YouTube right there. Oh, I wanted to get up here and show y'all. I did a lot of time last night, so I want to get a quick little shoot. I'm going to be going with this pink since Mike Webb said that they did real well on a pink, and hopefully that lighting is doing that bait some justice early this morning. But I'm going with that pink as the start off bait in the morning. And I also said, you know what, I hadn't broke one out. I had success on the lake with one before that I threw, and it's a real unique bait, and I might as well showcase it a little bit while I'm here waiting on Jerry. If I can get the hair to act right on it. That was a heck of a drive. But I'm not going to be able to. Maybe I'll have to wait until it gets wet. We'll go down there and catch. That's what it's going to do anyway. It's going to catch. But I want y'all guys to take a look at this bait. Let me just clamp this. And all that real good hair is holding all on that bait. But if you can see, this hard-headed hand tie here is super unique. I got some shoots of it in the video, but basically small crawfish with that silver, and that crawfish is a silver and black. Two pinchers in the front are right there in the front. Got antennas there sticking up on the head of it, right behind the jig head. So that bait it's just got too much to offer. A little noisy. It's got too much to offer not to work. Just feel like it's gonna be a real deadly bait. I just brought it just to drop down. That'll be my silver, just in case that pink is not what Mike Webb said it is. He said that they had a soft plastic pink the other day that outperformed any other color. But that's what's got me to where I'm gonna drop a pink first this morning. I also tied a whole bunch of those pinks. I might as well get them ready because Mike Webb said he wanted some. So it's the hard hitter cell pack, the decals on the inside. But whenever I get, a good, reliable source of information that a color is working, I'll go ahead and just flood it and put a whole lot of different variations of pink together. So I tied a lot of pink just in case it holds true that they wanted pink more than anything. And I got a lot of different variations of it. I also got, silver and purple. As I said, purple was hot, but all these different variations of pink I tied. And that should be a lot of these colors. Just ridiculous how much I put into them. So they should really perform. If that's what they want is a pink, well, I got the hard hitter pink for them. And these are pink make the grease stink. That's these baits, or pink make the grease stink. That's the name of these rascals here. So I was telling you guys about the right product to use on your kayak. I sprayed this kayak with that product that I showed you guys, and it has the whole kayak just, it brings the color back the way it should be on all your components. Way better than Armor All. It's a protectant and just keeps your kayak like new. All your plastics, all your rotomold stuff, everything is glossy and well protected from the sun and UV light rays. So it's killing some time getting some footage while waiting on Jerry. Get back with you guys when we get out there and get on the fish. Hooked up fishing that hard hitter, never quitter, won't stop till the fish get bigger. Y'all already know what it is. Whenever I'm rushing out to do something, or like I did, I cleaned the kayak, put all that protectant on it. I left my camera pole for the behind me shots, so everything will probably be head cam footage to the best of my ability today. And I do apologize for that, but that's what it's gonna be today. Head cam footage. Get back with y'all when I get out here and get on the fish. Okay, let's try this again, y'all. That one over there seemed that was either catfish or whatever, but I did get a good solid hit right away on the pink here. So let's try these fish and see if I get a better response here on these fish down here. I went to those deeper fish first. There's some up high at 8 again. I'm going to these fish that are down here. Another fish followed that fish up. Their first fish is a hog, y'all, on that pink, and they're sitting right there at 8. So all I gotta do is try not to piss them off or spook them, and I bet get on a few of them. But he ate that pink up right away that I tied a bunch of. It's a real good solid first fish. So they're up high. They're way up. Fish are way up high at 8. Not a whole lot of jigging up and down. You got your ACC crappie stick? It didn't come yet? Dang. Pink. Yo, Mike. Caught 2, lost 1. Yeah. Well, they're doing a little follow and hit when the ones I was on right here. I hadn't got back on them yet because the very first tie I put on, I must didn't tie a good loop knot last night. So I caught a fish and was lifting him in the boat, and the jig went one way and the fish went another. So I'm just re-rigged and getting back to get back in here. It is. They're feeding. They are feeding. Oh, I'm hitting them when I rig back up. Yeah, the weather's real nice, but they are just kind of like not super responsive on it there. Yeah, it's one at 12 noon. What it's gonna happen is we're gonna have high pressure set in at like noon. Noon, the pressure is gonna be like extremely high. but right now it's rising. So they're gonna feed from now until about noon. You know, yeah, they're gonna feed from like now until about noon. You know, I would think. So right now you want to try to get in and get on the fish, because now is that little period where they're gonna feed just before that pressure gets high and sets in. It ain't set in yet. And once it sets in around 9 o'clock, the pressure is gonna get high and stay high all the way up until noon. When that pressure is high and not moving, they won't feed as much. But now you just gotta kind of, you know, provoke a bite, pretty much. The ones I'm seeing, yeah, I'm having to, you know, entice them to hit it. Oh, and he did. Small one. Yeah, small one. I got some big ones from over there, so they're over there too. But I'll get him out of the way. He won't get to go back and tell it. Yeah, the bite is you know, it's here. It's just how they want it. They're up high. The fish I'm seeing are at 8, 9, you know, and they want you to kind of like drop it in there and kind of slowly pull it out of the way, and then boom, you know, he jumps on it. But you know, it's still a bite. Okay. All right. I'll get the new creature bait. Crawfish, pinchers, antennae, the whole caboodle. Kit and caboodle, as they say. Feathers are so real, they want to grab a hold to the plastic till it all gets wet, and it'll conform like it needs to. But I'm trying to get you guys a good shot of it. There it is. Pinchers are trying to grab the feathers. Get that pincher off the top of that antennae. 2 antennaes, 2 pinchers. A real aggressive tail. Hard hitter creature bait. So those fish that didn't want to act aggressively towards a bait, I'm gonna put something in there they don't like. Something with some pinchers and something that's threatening their little safe haven. And I'm gonna see how that works. I caught one fish in the blind with Jerry, but let me turn this camera off and get serious and get back with y'all when I get on this first pile over here. Got a little bit of a dilemma. For some reason, the battery was all the way down. I don't know if it's because I left the terminals hooked up to the battery for a week or so. The lithium battery was all the way down, I guess, because I had it on the charger. And it wasn't taking a charge, but I got out on the water and I had 12.4, but it failed. It died. So, Reggie let me take his onboard charger off of his boat. I'm going to run to the dock, plug up this charger if they have power, then take the battery out of my truck. It's not a deep cycle lithium, it's a 12-volt battery. Come out and try to fish. Use it, the live scope is sparingly, you know, only use it as, I won't just run it all. In other words, run it off my battery into my truck battery. See how long it lasts. A regular lead acid battery. Should hold. I hate running my unit off of that, but I gotta do something right now today. That's the dilemma, and I'm gonna try to solve it. Hopefully get back with y'all once I figure out how to get this thing all wired up and on the kayak. Later. I have juice again in my ride, front, back, and side to side as well, because it's a 180 drive. I had to go get my truck battery, and my other battery is up there charging. I'll show y'all that later. I took Reggie's charger off of his boat, plugged it up, and I got juice. So going back up. This camera has a SD card that's full. I almost dropped my cord in the water. It's that kind of morning. So I gotta make a decision whether I want to run that camera or not. But for now, I think I'm just gonna take another camera and mount it to the head cam. Run a simple, small camera like the ones I love. Never fail me. These. So, get back to y'all once I make that transformation. Alright, so I picked back up with this camera I was doing most of my footage with and put it on a head cam and put the new DJI Osmo pointed at the Gorman. You know, just a little quick way of kind of showing y'all when I'm on the structure. A good ways out now. My tracks are way over there. But this point is really wind blown and I probably should get on the point if the wind is coming around. But I've been getting all of my fish in, working my way back out that way. I'm gonna start over. Go ahead and get over there. Got that big old heavy car battery in the front. I'm plowing water. Marking a lot of fish. Run this bait. It's a pretty deep diver. 17 foot of water. Hope I do okay on my battery, using my battery out of my truck. I've never, we'll find out just how long a battery out of a truck lasts running the live scope unit. It's right at 11 o'clock. This is when the feed is, it should, from about 1 until later, it should be decent because the pressure is going to be falling and it will be moving. It's been locked dead steady ever since about 8:30, 9 o'clock this morning. The pressure was high and it stayed high all the way up until 12:30, 1 o'clock or so. Looked at the charts and found that out early this morning. So I was trying to get on the fish super early. And I think the reason that my battery was down because I left the power, you know, plugged up. The whole time the truck, the kayak has just been sitting while I was waiting on, you know, another window to go fishing. Of course, I went to, and I was keeping it plugged up because I was hitting spots in salt water, and I wasn't concerned about live scope as much. I was, you know, either way, bad decision, bad move. Won't do it again. Really need to put this bait up. Take it off. It hadn't produced any strikes or anything like that. So those fish are probably dormant, not wanting to chase a whole lot. So I'm gonna put this whole setup back up. And it's strictly crappie fish real hard. Try to make up time. I was going to get some good bass fishing in, I thought, and all of that. I got a broken back in that same design I was going to run. I was going to throw stick baits. That all changed. So I may as well start over. Focus on the crappie. Put all this black bass stuff up. Put my camera up. Box back underneath. 2 boxes underneath. Black bass box on top. I didn't need those tie-down straps, but Reggie will need them. I had to cut Reggie's tie-down straps, so I brought some more so he could put his unit back in his boat once I'm done charging up there. See how long that 10 out. He's got a stronger one than mine. Mine is 2. I got slow charging. His is a 10, so I hope it'll reach down and get it. That sometimes is the problem when your battery is real low and you put a 10 on it. It doesn't want to reach down that low and get it. Put a real cover and just strictly crappie fish. Take out my creature bait. I tried the pink earlier and it did good, but I'm gonna give myself a real fair shot, so I'm gonna take both out. Take out pink that I've been getting them on. Let me disconnect this battery here. Get that strap out of the way, and I'm gonna take out that creature bait. And I'm gonna use the creature bait right away. Very first brush pile is gonna get the new creature bait, guys. It was real low, and I said, well, it shouldn't be low, and it really was, and it died. So I went and got on Reggie's boat, took his onboard charger out of his boat, and went to the gazebo and plugged it up, and I got my deep cycle lithium battery being charged at the dock. Now I went ahead and went in my truck and took the battery out of the truck, and that's what I'm running on. I hadn't started using the live scope with it yet, but it shows good with the sonar and all of that. So after that hard period of, this morning there was a small window, the wind was blowing. Now it should get on the downside and the feed side for the next 5 straight hours, should be, because the pressure will be falling and moving, and they like that more than they do rising. So I'm coming out with the creature bait to make sure that I give them exactly what they're looking for, as far as something that's gonna really just make them feed, hopefully. I used it before out here with success, so I'm gonna try again on some of these same fish that were acting skittish that I started the morning off with. I'm gonna start on the same pile, but I'm gonna start with the creature bait on it and try not to get it hung up with this wind. That's gonna be the biggest factor, because I only have one and I don't want to get too overly aggressive with it, and I don't want to show it to somebody that really don't have no business getting a hold of it and take it from me. So I see some fish here, some bigger fish. Yeah, he was there with the guy. That was the only other boat. That was 2 guys on it. They had minnows. He's got an older friend with him that so it's a lot of fish around here. I'm just going to drop down to some of those fish that are, yeah, that's great. I know you should, Made one come up. So they're way down there deep, and they don't want to do anything unless you bring the bait up like you're trying to get away. So, bending that hook out, he messed with that jig, it's over with. It's a wrap. Try to make up some time for all the fish I missed when I was down. Now I'm in 15 foot of water. Things like this is where they're going to be holding it. Just gotta get your bait in there and get in the strike zone. No dice. Just give you one and that's it. Didn't get the footage, but I got him on that creature bait. I had to piss him off all on that deep. Fish it hard. Got a real good hook set. I didn't even bend that hook out, and I'm going to, because it's easy to get out to. Working on a decent box. Tough, hard day. I had to go all the way down to the base of that tree and target some fish down deep and get them to bite. They on the one. I want to tell you guys what's going on. I had to get all the way down to the bottom of that deal there. The lowest crappie, the one that's deepest down there, to get him to hit. And I don't have a weed guard on here, so I'm flirting with danger. There's a pretty good little pile right there. But looks like it's all catfish at the top, and that one crappie came at the very bottom of this hill. All those fish stacked on it. Nothing at the top responded. Let's see if I can fight the wind and get on that little stick up down there. Wind blowing 90 to nothing. Had to drop it right on that fish. They eating that creature bait up. They don't like it. Mark that little pile. Just a little pile just like that. Just one little stick up. Barely had it. I'll bend that hook out some now. Me and these pictures, that's why I can't stay on the brush piles. I'll be glad when I get this spot locked. Just about where that bush is at though. Glad you got some tough meat right there. Couldn't blow it off myself. This tough fight this right now. Bend this hook out now. So far the pinchers are holding up and everything. There it is down there. May as well throw a buoy. Ain't much of nothing, but it's a pile. So anytime I'm right around there. this out a little bit. Make sure get a good hook set, but also gotta watch it when you do that, because then you might get hung a little bit easier. I'm just gonna barely move it. See if I can get on that thing again. Can't worry about it. Foot of water. Dropping that creature bait down in their house. They don't like it. Creature bait. Making them come up out of there, y'all. I mean, figured it out. Down deep, down at the bottom, creature bait. That little dude right there. They can't, I don't care if it ain't no feed. They can't stand it. I just ain't been putting them things out there, y'all. I just hadn't been. But these creature baits, that fish see it, it's a wrap. If hands and buts about it. Do not put that creature bait down there by them rascals. Everybody and their mama want it. He inhaled that. Hey. My bait, man. Get my bait. I'm tapping my bait on my buoy. Well, y'all see. Live and direct. Creature bait. Putting the smack down on it. One little twig, that's what y'all seeing. One little twig just out here away from all them stumps, down in 16 foot of water down there. And them fish on that one little twig down there. Ain't a whole bunch of them, but enough of them to where they're responsive, and I can put the jig on. Wind laying down just enough for me to keep on top of these rascals here. I'm gonna keep going, I guess, yeah. But I'm hitting some fish on something right here. That's down deep. I got about 3 off of it already. Hell, that pink. Gale force winds, don't matter. Pink. if I can get some protection if I go around that point. Slow down.
Well, I ain't going.
Oh, you're not?
I'll pull you back. I got everything. Yeah.
Wow, boy, you did good. Turn the camera. I will. Yeah, buddy. Just gotta mark it. There's a bunch of them on that thing. That's what I do. Find one down there. It's got some on it. Hard for me to stay on it, but I'm gonna try. All right, let me get this jig unhung. I just pulled up on a tree with a whole bunch of fish on it, and after 3 or 4 or 5 times of me running the bait through them and they didn't respond, I left them because, you know, They're not gonna hit. Even if I see them, if they're not active, if they don't respond, I know it's gaspergoo catfish or something that, you know. Every one of the trees that I mark with fish, the fish don't always be crappie. So I keep it moving, but I know that's hard because, you know, you got to tie off. So each time you don't want to vacate real quick. This wind would lay down a little bit, it would make it. Yeah, I know. No, you're not, like I said, you're not able to just burn off real quick and get back, you know. So I understand you staying. All right, guys, let's wrap it up right here because apparently my live scope did not fully charge. I hadn't been paying attention to it because I've been running to salt water. I wasn't worried about it too much apparently. So that was a snowball effect. I ran the system on my car battery for my truck battery for a little while, but it drained the heck out of my truck battery. So I got my truck up there running because I can't cut it off. I got Jerry to jump me off. Now I'm just gonna get my kayak in, load it, and get to the house. I got his jumper cables, but I need to get Reggie his battery charger, charging my 100 amp hour battery at the dock. I need to get that to him. He's out there fishing and he's not answering his phone. So thanks for watching. Likes, subscriptions, comments, man, rolling with me, and get back with y'all on a better note, man. It was a real tough bite today. I couldn't even get the second window to fish it because I got issues. Could have been fishing now if I'd had my ducks in a row. I had them in a row, but they didn't want to stay in line. God dog, man. No better time than now to go ahead and do me a quick head count from the other day. I iced those fish down from yesterday, and it's raining here, so I may as well pop them up on the tailgate, get a head count for y'all. That way that rain will wash off the tailgate while it's sitting here. I'll get some gloves, yep. That way I ain't gotta worry about it. I'll get some gloves here. Still recording. Let's see what kind of angle I got. Camera right. Bear with me here. This is the other day when the camera, my live scope battery died, so I didn't get to fish all day. But I can get a head count right quick. I did catch some tanks. Caught some monsters too. That's one monster for sure. A lot of good solid fish. A lot of good solid fish. I didn't, like I said, I didn't get the fish like I wanted to. Didn't get to do anything like I wanted to because GoPro died. But on a rough day, under the toughest conditions possible, I mean, conditions were horrible. I mean, you want to talk about tough. Conditions were past tough. So I ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Thought I had 20 or so, but I had 15. And that's a private lake where you got to keep all of them. But I ended up with 15 good crappie. And they want you to keep all of the bass out of there too. It's a private lake. But yeah, that'll give you a quick head count of what I ended up with. So, ice these jokers back down. So 3 real solid slabs, and then 3 other real nice fish. Well, 4 other, well, 5 other real nice fish. And then a ton of really good eaters, even though these are real nice too. They're nice eaters. And I'll get to cleaning here in a little while. Got rainy conditions. I always put the smaller fish up on top. Let them get some shine time. Stop recording.